wholeheartedly what Janie and Daniel have to say, even though it's completely bunk and nonsense, well, who's to say any different? Who gives a shit? Change the channel. Go somewhere else. Yeah, it's a real shame that people don't see and understand the red flags, etc. Don't waste your time engaging because it's just a huge frustration. People come around. People talk about the dumbest shit. But it's all about people misinforming and misleading people in the background. That's the whole concept behind cybercrime, essentially. That initial fool, that catfish, if you will. And it's no different in this particular, especially, I should say, in the true crime genre. You know what your intentions are. You stick to them. It shows. There's nothing wrong with talking about things in any such manner. It doesn't make everybody right. Doesn't make everybody wrong. Something happened to Jack and Lily. There's a truth to this situation. Of course, that would make a right and wrong. just by that alone. However, people always want to confuse and mistake what it is that they think that they're participating in or doing. Most of the shit is just to wind a group of individuals up. As in, you read something and there's no possible way a person who, whatever it says, can be that effing stupid in that moment. They're just trying to get a charge, right? Thank you very much, Joyous. When it gets out of control in these circumstances, that's atypical. And they want to misrepresent all of the propaganda in what we know as mainstream media against what goes on in social media and all the harm that it can bring in a case. This is just nonsense and propaganda. These situations need conversation. Now, it's a shame most of the conversation turns out to be, in hindsight, misinformation. But the thing is that you don't know because there's a certain element of not knowing. And people are always trying to figure out what the thing is that the individuals are hiding, we'll say. Joyce, you're very generous, darling. Thank you so, so much. I don't have to preach to you all about that. I just want to remind you all about it. Because even though Drunk Turkey seems like a huge effing moron, it just speaks more to the sense that he's not as attached to the situation or the children as any of you are. And when you're behind a microphone, whether it's promoting for a particular brand, there's always a sense of bullshit, propaganda behind it. Just change the channel and don't get too attached in these situations, especially that it's on social media, or we'll call it YouTube, what I'm talking about. Nobody is ever doing anything wrong unless it's those individuals who are making these mock-up Belinda conversations. When I saw that, I'm like, all right, here we go. Apparently there's this, we'll look at it, but I saw it on Ninchi's True Crime. There's this conversation, a snippet from what looks like a Facebook Messenger conversation, what the individual is trying to get you to assume is Belinda Gray, because they even mention the name Belinda in it, okay? And it's speaking that they don't want this particular Chrissy involved in any more of this particular case. It doesn't sound like Belinda. It doesn't even sound like somebody who's capable of carrying on much of a conversation in the English language. So you must have to think it's Durwood and his gang. Now, this group of funky players, man. Why is it that they're so keen on engaging and promoting all of this nonsense and disinformation on behalf of their buddy Daniel and / Janie. We know the reason why. That's what is fascinating to me. Just how shameless these individuals are. They must, and there's nothing wrong with thinking that, even though they get tremendously upset about it. You can't think, that's not fair. You can't. Listen, assholes, you guys are so engaged in all of this, you're not practicing what you preach. You guys are on top of the investigation. You guys are fielding tips, encouraging people to call them in after they talk to the RCMP so you guys can figure things out on your own, how to fix this. Whatever this, there's that this thing again. Whatever this is. What's going on, Mayflower? When someone makes up false conversation as Belinda and Daleen, that is wrong. It isn't Belinda or Daleen. It's a group of numbnuts. Exactly. It's none of the above. But it's all playing out on this particular Facebook group. And the individuals that get involved and they compete because they, I guess, what is it to get ahead on there? Like YouTube, you at least have AdSense money, right? Right? Facebook, it's really shameless clout. It's just disgusting. And of course, they want to shit talk everybody else, and they want to talk about social media as though it's any place else but where they're speaking and posting. Oh shit! Listen, the whole point of talking about everything, we don't know what is and isn't misinformation. Most of the stuff that you speculate and think of, we're not tied to in the first place, but we've got to speak about it because we have no other choice due to the statements in the language by way of the suspects. That's what they fail to neglect to mention in these articles. They just want to, you can get a good sense of who's really conditioned and programmed to just parrot and recite what's in these articles. Oh, didn't we just go through these lockdowns? Didn't you learn anything? A lot of minds are very malleable in that sense. And that's frustrating. Not that you want to, I don't even like to bring it up because then you fall into this, oh, well, you just think that you're so much smarter than everybody else. No, there's really people out there who do dumb things, we'll say, at any one point in time. Now, is that what Kent is? Fuck no. Kent's association to this is way deeper. He's got ties to this. And who was in my comment section earlier talking about how this Chance Lays is in this band too? Oh, they're just all in a band. It's just like the antithesis of the Osmonds. The tweaked out Osmonds. The Osmond kids. We have assumed control. What's up, Silver? Good to see you. You Void. I just like talking about what everybody's looking at or what everybody's talking about. And then she got me the other day. She got me in this I may as well just pull it up. Let me just give me a second here. Oh, here I go plagiarizing Ninchi's shit again. Now this is me talking about your shit, Ninchi. So let's get that straight. Listen. Oh, see, oh, look at how fantastic of a, what would you call this? Oh, look at the clip art here. Oh, it's just so, oh, isn't that just handsome? So this is this particular fabricated message. I can't take the issues with this Chrissy anymore. Now, first of all, I don't even know who these individuals are. I got to be reminded. Chrissy, so there's Christine Inrig. Who is that? Is that the Christine that comes in my chat? Is that Christine Inrig? I guess you don't. But is being monitored by the suspects nonstop. So there's a real battle for the narrative, it seems, over time. And to go up there for any amount of time and read somebody who really is believing what a bunch of child unalivers in that sense are trying to have you believe is just insulting to people's intelligence. Can you imagine? 2 kids just disappeared. You say, really, what they're saying in a nutshell is they disappeared within about 30 or 40 minutes of police arriving. That's what they're hinting at without linguistically committing to it. That's a bit of a problem. That's a bit of a problem, guys. You're saying that they're just here now. They're nowhere to be found. And the bullshit story that they've come up with is so out of whack. It's inconsistent. Nobody believes it, not even the RCMP. Amy, are you okay? Annie, are you okay? Excuse me. Good to see you. My vibration is lowered listening to your vibrations. Brian Wilson. Some good vibrations. My vibration is lowered by listening to her. Everything is an argument, just like with Michelle After Dark. I won't listen to her anymore either. Yeah, there's a big hate train. I don't even listen to her in the first place. I don't mind if you guys do. Like, who gives a shit? It says a lot, though, when the creator doesn't mind to share with you what it is that they think based off of the facts at hand. You can truly see who cares about the situation and who doesn't so much. But people who want to throw shade at people who create and talk about it, especially on YouTube, are contradictory. They're jealous. It's not even a sound argument, okay? Because you're not actually making any money, and you're certainly not making enough money, and you're not making any money off of Jack and Lily. Just because Jack and Lily Sullivan are the topic, well, it's you who's contradicting yourself, because you get mad that the advertisements that you need in that moment actually cost money and aren't free. Like, it just, the rules don't change. Anyway, now, if you've been around the true crime community, you know the power and the reasons that people come out with propaganda or disinformation. That's when the real annoying people come out of the woodwork. All the people who believe anything that you tell them. Oh, shit. Yeah, that's what you can't handle. But, you know, people can talk about whatever they want in whatever way that they want. You don't ever want that to change. Even though it's annoying as fuck, you still need people in that sense like that. And it gives you something to complain about. There's positives. You can make money of complaining about them. But often it seems to people like it's some sort of gain. And if they can gain favor within some of these subcultures or communities, then it's a different thing. More like people, what they do is hang out in whoever's chat is getting the most donations. And then they'll target certain people within that chat who like to give all kinds of donations, and then they'll target these individuals with a certain type of misinformation, and it's a lot easier to get money out of them in the end. That happens all of the time, and you've really got to be watching for that. Like, I mean, give money to whoever you want to, but listen, that's a different thing. Let me finish one. I don't want to get all over the place. So, yeah, so Christine Inrig is this fake real estate agent. You mean the receptionist at the real estate used to be the receptionist at Remax, you're saying? Nothing wrong with that. But there's more to it? Isn't she like associated with Dan? Or associated with them, or people are associating her? I don't know. I don't know what it is or why people are upset at her. I'm trying to figure that out. Let me read this. Chrissy Travers and Angela Henderson have been permanently removed from all involvement in this missing persons case. That's a strong statement. I didn't even know that they were, they were bestowed such an honor to be removed. How could you remove that from somebody? That's really giving herself or that other person a lot of power. Thank you, Chair. Is this real? Come on. Or is she just meaning in this group that she loves to pretend is really happening? It's so important. Chrissy Travers and Angela Henderson have been permanently removed from all involvement in this missing persons case. They do not represent Belinda Gray, any family members, or the Find Jack and Lily community, and they hold no authority to speak, act. There's a key word, fundraise. This is what this is all about. Fundraise was added to all of this just naturally in there because, right, that's what you have to do in these circumstances. Oh, fuck. I'm getting an itch to design me some fucking bracelets, Kent. Anybody want a keychain, window sticker? Yeah, spreading some awareness for $7.99, baby. Fucking douche. And they hold no authority to speak. To speak! You have no authority to speak! I am the king. Something tells me that she wrote this when she was wound up. You're going overboard. Come on. This is really... Are you that important? Is it that important of a fucking thing? If somebody's doing something, it's a lot better just to out with it. Hey, look at... This person is here doing this. Highlight it, circle something, point to it, and post it. Couldn't be any easier. Listen, this is a fucking important announcement here. Oh shit! I mean, this is something that you would troll somebody with, right? Wouldn't you troll the shit out of somebody? Wouldn't you troll the shit out of somebody with this? Only a person who is probably suffering from some sort of turmoil internally, a narcissist, would get upset over such a thing. I cannot speak. You can't speak or act in here. I've seen what you've done, and I'm withdrawing your rights. I'm making a citizen's arrest. Why don't you make a citizen's arrest? Why does it have to be all of this virtue signaling in amongst people in a certain group? You have to be trolling people. But I don't think she is. Oh, shit. Anyway, let's fucking read this thing. This is a post from Christine Inrig.
And now...
I'm not sure I think it's serious. You can't talk about this case anymore. Why don't you, Christine Inrig, why don't you go tell Durwood about that? Go tell Durwood and everybody. Tell Daniel to shut his fucking mouth. Let's see. I don't even believe it. Even though she might have a reason why she's complaining, I don't believe that at all. That's certainly not the way that it should be, should it? How is it you're spending more time around Jack and Lily than even Malaya is? Can you believe this? Does anybody else have a problem with that claim? So, it's not important, but it is important, is the way she's making Malaya look in all of this. You're inconsistent. You're inconsistent to your earlier statements when you go and now say that you spent all of this time around Jack and Lily. Now we have to wonder, how much time did you really spend around Jack and Lily? Here you're saying more time than Malaya. Is she exaggerating? Why is she exaggerating? Why is she lying? Grammy, you think Janie gave them all their baths? Cooked for them? Could you see? Well, see, there's no talk about that. Janie, you would be thinking about all of the great meals that you cooked the family as a big, happy, get along, Brady Bunch style, packed into this trailer like a bunch of sardines, getting on each other's nerves around the fire on the nightly basis. You would be sipping on a little bit of vodka, of course, drinking from the bottom.
And as I was saying, if you have to call their mother to tell them that Jack has no boots on or Jack has no coat on, and if she's supposed to be watching them all the time, that's a...
Nothing says gaslighting. That's literal gaslighting right there, isn't it? Think about what it is that you're doing. You're picking something that's bad about the other person and saying to the third person, you're the person who thought to pick up the phone and call her in the first place. So you're calling somebody, then screaming down the line that it's their fault that you called them. Like, you're really putting so much more on Malaya in a circumstance, and anybody for that matter. Think about how she's portraying it. She's saying, what kind of person relies on me to remind her that her kids aren't clothed properly when they're outside? To paraphrase. Like, that doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense on many levels. And it shows you the resentment and the problem within the house, the dysfunction. A contributing factor to the incident in which they all had to conspire to get away with this particular crime, and that had to do with coming up with this false bullshit story that they told the RCMP. The one that they don't want to fill in all of the timeline spaces around the hours leading up to what would otherwise be what they want us to believe, the time frame that's most important. Because nothing was happening, nothing eventful, but there was. There's so much more to talk about.
Bunch of bullcrap. Because I would even watch my other two grandchildren when they were out in the yard, and I would always keep an eye on them when they were in the yard. And I was always yelling for them, where are you guys, where are you guys? And the only time those kids really got outside is when she was putting Meadow down for her nap. And when she would put Meadow down for her nap, she would go down for a nap too with Meadow. Well, as I said, that's between her and Malaya. Well, as I said, that's between her and Malaya. Well, let's start with Jack. Jack was a curious little boy. He was a happy little go-lucky boy. But I'll tell you, if he didn't want to do something, he wasn't going to do it.
Isn't that interesting? Let me tell you about Jack, and there's a but in it. That's what sticks out to me. What about you guys? Could you imagine getting at somebody's funeral and speaking like that? Well, let me. I just want to share a few things in this eulogy here. Jack was a generous man. I personally couldn't stand the piece of shit. Come on now. But
because when I would get after him to put his shoes on, and when he was running around his bare feet, I would say, Jack, put your shoes on.
You know, they complain all the time about the kids not being dressed appropriately. It's amazing that morning that they took the time to go out of their way to put their boots on and walk themselves out the door and close behind them, when they complain nonstop about the rest of the time that they're around. Their life revolves around the fact that they're not doing the one thing that they ended up doing. Just ironic, isn't it all? So you're always complaining to Malaya about the kids not having their coats or boots or anything properly on. But you told the police that the kids put their boots on to the point where they listed it on the missing poster. They put their boots on, something that you guys are telling us that that's not a normal thing for them to do. So why would they decide to put their boots on and walk out into Never Never Land? Disappear. Or go to a place that you guys don't want to talk about. The this. They walked out that door into the this and that, the it. You guys are storytelling.
I've said this, and he would just stand there and put his arms up, fold his arms up, and go, eh, 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 eh. And that's all I would get out of him.
Holy fuck, Cruella DeVille here. Did you guys have your earbuds in for that? Oh, shit. What does that sound like? What movie is that from? That's from Planes, Trains, and Automobiles with Steve Martin when he melts down in that hotel room on John Candy. And he's yelling at him about being like a doll who never shuts the hell up, and he keeps repeating himself. He's pulling that string out from his belly 4 times. That's exactly what Janie just did about a missing child. The only thing that she could get out of him were like 4 grunts. That's all he could get out of him. Holy shit. As a child, you would be absolutely terrified of any interaction with this old broad. It's like living in hell. What a fucking bitch. There's no possible way kids like this old broad. Like when you're a kid, you don't have words for it, but you know what it is. It's like there's no possible way. Kids like smiles and cuddles and good times and candy and food and engaging activities, not being yelled at or prodded or told what to do. You boss them around as though they're always doing something wrong. They need to stay in line, and that's out of control in this household. You can see that. That would suck. And if I was Jack and Lily, I would thank me right now for having the balls to even fucking say shit like this. People should be saying it all the time because that's what Jack and Lily need. They were the victims of a brutal crime right now, and what should really stick to your hiney is the fact that the people that are in charge to protect them are spinning their story in order to protect their own asses because of whatever negligence and abuse that they brought upon these kids, thinking that you're fucking stupid and you're going to take all of this. This is an emergency. Nobody in their lives are looking at it publicly from a realistic standpoint because they've got too much at stake. They've got a piece, an opinion. They've got too much in the game. This is fucking nonsense. If I ever fucking disappear, it doesn't even matter if I'm a kid. People start making any excuses like this. Something's fucking up, people. Question it. Call them out. The kids could tell they weren't wanted there. You're saying, Tammy, kids are not as dumb as people think. Well, of course. Throw a mama from the train? Yeah, that's a good one, too. That's Billy Crystal and Danny DeVito. You don't have a cousin, Norman. You lied to me. That's a good spot. I feel like that sort of comedy.